Welcome back, RealTalkTwinCities.com on AM 1280 The Patriot. I'm Eric Pirius with Bell Mortgage, along with my compatriot
Cheryl Kempenek, Coldwell Banker Burnet.
And Donna Quanrud, Coldwell Banker Burnet.
We're continuing with our special guest, Elise Jensen, who is a certified financial planner with Azure Wealth Management. Welcome back, Elise.
Thanks.
We also are going to have our Ask the Expert section coming up. And the question is, how long do derogatories stay on your credit report? So we'll have that answer coming up, and we're going to finish our conversation that we started about an emotional trap of what I call the bright, shiny object of the lowest possible rate, which naturally seems to be the best. Everybody wants that. And sometimes that's true, but not always. And if you think it's always the best, then I submit that that is an emotional trap. And you were saying that sometimes, at least, that your clients come in and say that they go into a 15-year because they look at it and, okay, this is the least possible amount of interest I can pay, and that's the best, and interest is bad, and that's what I should do.
You have to make sure that you're on the right side of interest.
Okay, what does that mean?
That means that, if we're refinancing to a 15-year mortgage that has, what would the current rates be?
In the low three,
threes,
yeah, right around 3.25 or something like that.
If you're applying,
Even though we're not quoting rates, right?
We're not. Those are national averages.
Thank you.
sorry, Cheryl. So if
Eric gets in trouble.
if you're applying your resources to a debt that's costing you, let's say 3.5%, when you could in fact take those dollars and put them towards something that's going to earn you higher than that, I would argue that you should be taking the extra dollars and earning more rather than paying off the lower interest debt early.
And
Yeah.
I always like the idea of having the lowest living expense possible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who wants to pay more on their mortgage every month?
Mm-hmm. Well, worst case scenario, if I have clients that really, really are, insistent upon paying off their mortgage early, I say, let's take it and put it in a savings account or in a side account for a few years, and if you feel the same way, guess what? We throw it at the
Sure.
debt, you're in the same position. It's all about your actual balance sheet. Your balance sheet doesn't change at all.
And if you are well balanced, if you have the proper amount of insurance, you've got a nest egg or of 6 months reserves, that kind of thing, and
Yeah.
you've got the income for it, yeah, do a 15-year. But that's not always the case. And the other thing that I point out to folks is that the sheetrock in your home is worth the same. In other words, your home is worth the same, no matter how much you owe on it. So being more balanced, and maybe you could talk about that, to where, okay, if I go to a 15-year, I take $400 more, whereas if you took that $400 and put it in the market, then
Yeah.
you're more balanced. You're not totally weighted on the real estate market. You're betting on that
Yeah.
market isn't going to dip because I'm paying off this mortgage.
Yep. Like you said, Eric, if you're totally on track for your financial goals and you really, really just want to pay off that debt, and that's your highest priority goal is being mortgage free, great, go ahead and do it. I see very few people who find themselves in that scenario. And ultimately, if you are, then it comes down to saying,
Yep.
well, would you rather take that $400 and eliminate your mortgage, or retire 6 months earlier or a year earlier?
Right.
And when you can actually put it in tangible, action steps for clients and have them see how something like that really will pan out.
Let's face it, we don't know what we don't know. So when we work with a
Yeah.
professional, sometimes they'll see another, or throw out another option that we wouldn't have known. So when somebody comes in and says, I want that 15-year mortgage, and you throw out another option, what if we did a 20-year and you put this here, and it might make more sense, and it was something that you had no clue about. But we talked about earlier too about having different buckets that you put things in, your money, and so you're diversifying and spreading the risk out.
Yep, absolutely. And if you are too overweighted, if your home is your only asset because the majority of your cash flow is going to paying for that mortgage and you can't afford to save, you are heavily overweighted in a very illiquid asset.
Yep, that makes sense. You can get a mortgage checkup by calling me at 952-905-5757. You can also get a free financial checkup by calling Elise at
651-300-2456. Again, that's 651-300-2456.
And for a market analysis on your home or anything real estate, buying or selling, you want to give Cheryl a call at
612-735-0553. That's 612-735-0553. And you can reach all of us anytime through realtalktwincities.com. We've got links to both Eric and Elise. Donna's there too. So we want to help you with your financial planning, your mortgage checkup, or buying or selling your next home.
Absolutely. So let's say that somebody comes to me and they, you know what, all right, a 20-year, you're right. It's a little lower than a 30. I cut a few years off my mortgage. My payment's not going down that much, but I am overall, saving $150, $200 a month. And what would you do with somebody that came to you and said, hey, I've got, what should I do with this couple extra $100 a month?
It's really not rocket science. There actually is a hierarchy of how you put together an appropriate plan with people, and that starts with the defense. We're all from Minnesota, right? Would you ever play a hockey game without the goalie in the net?
No.
And why do they pull a goalie?
Try to score quick.
Yeah, because they're so far behind in the game that they're desperate to score. So I often relate that to people that are later in life that don't have all of their ducks in a row. If they are not on track for retirement and there's no chance they will be, then living
Sure.
without the goalie is probably not going to hurt that bad. But starting with the defensive planning, which is your emergency fund and your insurance, is number one. And only when that's in place and we have the goalie in the net, then we move to the offensive planning, which is accumulating for your goals, retirement, education planning, whatever that may be.
I gotcha.
I think that peace of mind really helps you when you do have a life-threatening illness that
Absolutely.
happens. I've seen so many people that are not set up in life, their insurance isn't quite right, and they just tend to give up, because they know it's going to be so challenging for their family if they hang on and keep fighting.
And like I said before, it's such a scary topic for so many people because A, they know they're not on track, but B, they also don't have anyone they can trust that they can go to. And there are just so many different titles in my industry. I'm very focused on trying to lead the way and professionalizing, being transparent, and being clear and setting a standard so people can get
Yeah.
good financial advice.
And you have to remember, not making a decision is making a decision. So if you choose not to do anything, you're not going to be better off. You're probably going to be worse off. So why not take the step and figure out, where are my holes and how can I fill them?
Absolutely.
And one thing I would just like to point out too about Elise is she isn't going to try to take all of your money so you can't have any fun.
I want you to have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And we
part
know
of the
you
budget.
like to have fun. And the other thing too is, we continue to bring in local experts to give us the best advice possible, anything related to real estate, your finances, and also bringing in our former clients. Elise is one of my former clients,
Yep.
and we have developed a great relationship, and it's wonderful for us to be able to bring you in and give you the opportunity to reach out to our clients as well.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Donna, question for you.
Oh,
How long do derogatories stay on your credit report after they show up?
too long.
Too long. Ding, ding, ding. You're the winner.
Awesome, I won last week too.
Yes. That's right.
You're
You
staying
did.
home next week.
Come on. Anybody?
Okay, I'll tell you. It is 7.5 years from the time it becomes 30 days delinquent.
Right. That's exactly right. So thank you for that Ask the Expert question. Anybody, any of you who have a question for us can go to realtalktwincities.com, go to Ask the Expert, and someone will get back to you whether it's a financial or real estate question. We're here every week, 6 o'clock, all things real estate, realtalktwincities.com.